The instructors even pour salt water over the soldiers' open wounds to make the experience even more
It's a
painful.
different level of kind of torture.
This is torture. This is torture.
Imaginable.
Hey guys, love guys. Today we are going to watch This Is Why You Should Never Mess with Elite Special Forces. I promise you, I never had the thought of messing with
them,
Elite Special Forces, but I think so. Some countries might have, like they would think
China,
that okay,
Russia, and
Pakistan. I think so. There might be countries that might have that. Okay, that we can mess with the Elite Special Forces of USA. So we will see why you should never mess with them. And also, India has a very good relation with USA. India has a very give and take relation. Like
India is very balanced country. Like hello.
we have a very balanced relationship. So we have never had a fight with USA.
We are not biased, never ever. We don't mess.
So we will see what happens, and like if ever this chance comes, like we had to mess with the USA, then what will happen because of their elite special forces. So let's watch this video.
These are the most dangerous elite special forces in the world.
Oh.
You definitely don't want to mess with them. So don't give them a reason to have to come and find you. Because Korea's Special Mission Group definitely will. And they'll make it look easy. Because they've been specially trained to be able to get into everything. And I'm not even kidding.
The Korean ones.
These are the Korean ones.
We have all. It is a list of all the countries, the best
The
ones.
speed and timing it must take to pull this off makes me glad I'm not the one.
Wow, they're so fast.
Buildings isn't a problem for them
they're
either,
very
and it doesn't matter which
lightweight.
kind it is. Warehouses, skyscrapers, hotels, they can breach it all. This sort of deployment takes years of practice to get perfect, and one wrong move could cost them the whole mission. It's not just about simply rappelling down either. Everybody has a part to play. Whether it's holding the rope, breaking the window, or swinging in, each person has to be on their A game.
Everyone is so timely working.
These guys are on another level. I mean, look at this guy. It takes a certain kind of fearless individual to be able to do something like this. But speaking of fearlessness, that's exactly what these soldiers need to make it through this military course. It's called the Lancero, and it's a rigorous training regime designed to push Colombian soldiers to their limits. It has grueling obstacle courses, heights training, and ziplining into strong currents, all with the goal of preparing them for any kind of warfare. But if they want to make it through the course in one piece,
this reminds me of that thing used to come on
because if they want to accomplish some of these objectives,
Takeshi's Castle.
Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, these soldiers aren't messing around.
This is way too hard.
I know, but still.
I'll leave the jumping off bridges to the professionals. And I don't know which professionals designed this training exercise because it seems dangerous to put it lightly. These Chinese soldiers are tasked to play
passing a bomb,
wild version of hot potato by handling a live grenade off to each other until this happens. I guess it's some sort of high intensity training or something.
One mistake and all are dead.
None of them took a grenade to the chest. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm no Captain America. Get back! But it does seem like everyone in South Korea's special forces is. Breaking bricks with their head and running at full speed into concrete is no problem for them. And that's because these elite soldiers put themselves through extreme conditioning and intense taekwondo training.
Most of the countries have their very good elite forces.
Effortlessly jump in the air and kick.
I hope Indians are also there.
Like something right out of the Matrix. And if that's not enough to convince you that these guys are superheroes, then I don't know what will. Their skills and weapon training alone gives me a real life look at what it means to be an action hero.
Yeah, but have to get on the bad side. Hammered.
And don't mess with the Greek special forces either.
Even Greek special forces.
A plank can be taken to the extreme for them. I'm having a hard time doing a plank for more than 5 seconds. Meanwhile, this guy's over here doing one with 3 of his buddies standing on his back. But then there's the soldiers from Taiwan's ARP, also called the Frogmen. They have to endure one of the harshest military training courses ever made. Road to heaven. In this drill, they have to crawl across sharp rocks in various ways, like crawling only using their hands and knees, or with their hands tied behind their backs.
They will become so tough.
If that doesn't sound bad enough, if they mess up, they have to start all over again. The instructors even pour salt water over the soldiers' open wounds to make the experience even more painful.
It's a different level of kind of torture.
This is torture.
Imaginable. But you know what would be worse? Not liking and subscribing to the channel. Yeah, I'll
forgetting death is certain.
These North Korean soldiers gave a whole new meaning to thick skin. Over years of intense conditioning, they've somehow trained their bodies to be able to withstand heavy amounts of abuse. Their muscles are so strong that even sledgehammers do no harm. I mean, this guy has concrete smashed onto his chest while laying on a bed of nails and still gets up without a scratch.
Wow.
This soldier takes it a step further by having bricks smashed on his head. Others don't even bother laying down and decide to break the concrete slabs by running head first into them. And it doesn't
That is
stop
why
there.
people
They can
fear
even
North
jump over
Korea.
cars and bend metal rods only using their chest. Yeah, I'm convinced no weapon on planet Earth could take these guys down. I wouldn't
Broke
even
the
be
chain
surprised
with
if
his
their shit
chest.
was bulletproof. You're dead.
Oh my god, what am I watching?
These guys don't want to go down either. They want to go up. Luckily for them, they found the most genius way to do so. This Vietnamese tactical team are able to expertly scale a 30-foot wall in a slightly unconventional way.
What?
How's this
And when it comes to
possible?
combat, surprising your opponent can be vital. So
It's
being able to
physics.
quietly scale
Wow.
a wall with a
So
wooden
smart.
pole does give you certain tactical advantages. I think it's pretty clear when
Nothing
it comes to this
expensive.
team, if they're looking for someone, they'll do anything to
But
find
what
them.
about gravity?
And when it comes to the Navy SEALs,
No, they work according to physics, no. That there
it's
is some
survival
tension
of the
there.
fittest. And not everyone's cut out for it. Because in order to make it into this unit, you have to survive a week of constant training in
Yeah.
drills, also known as Hell
Hell
Week.
Week.
Starts with ruthless early morning exercises that often go on for hours. Most candidates operate only on a few hours of sleep each night and spend most of their time running, doing physical training and obstacle courses. In an effort to show their commitment to the cause, soldiers are asked to carry logs with their
Wives must
teammates
be
uphill.
very happy,
But if
huh?
that wasn't enough, they're also forced to carry a raft from the beach all the way to the ocean. Some are even asked to carry their teammates on their backs.
Huh?
So yeah, no wonder only a few people make it through.
Navy
The
SEALs, I
Chinese
think, so are the
Special
top
Forces
best.
train their soldiers in even worse conditions by making them endure weather as cold as negative 20 degrees Celsius.
Oh my
As part of
God.
their extreme weather training, they have to take snow baths, which involve throwing snow onto their
Snow
bare
bath?
skin.
Crazy.
And target practice? Yeah, that's done outside too. In fact, everything's done outside, which means every single step they take is in the freezing cold snow. Even a hike is made 10 times worse because at any moment, they could slip on the rocks and fall all the way down. I mean, having to crawl on the ground is hard enough, but imagine having to crawl through the ice and stone snow. It takes a certain kind of willpower to be able to do that. The Royal Marines, on the other hand, have to bear a different kind of element: mud. This endurance test
Mud.
is designed for new recruits to test their mental and physical
Yeah.
resilience. And since the whole thing is done in the mud, each movement they make requires everything they've got.
And
They
it
have
takes
no
a
choice
lot
but
of
to keep
effort in
going.
the mud.
In order to
Wow.
complete, they have to crawl,
Oh my
do
God,
sit-ups,
look at
and
them.
push and carry logs, all while having to endure the most excruciating pain their bodies ever felt. And you can't fall back or fall behind, because if you do,
Takes
you and your
hours to
entire
clean
team
the
have
whole
to
thing.
start all over. You have to be willing to do anything to
Every
finish,
country is
even if it
making their
means
special
dragging your
forces
teammate to
very
the end.
amazing.
Most of us have a fear of drowning, but imagine you were drowning inside a helicopter.
Huh?
What?
Well, lucky for us, we don't have to worry about that too much. But for the US Marines, that scenario isn't all that improbable. And this is where the Helo Dunker comes in, a machine that literally simulates an
Helo Dunker.
actual helicopter crash.
A helicopter crash into the water.
Yeah, it's just all simulation, but that doesn't take away from the fact that drowning is still a very real possibility during the test. At any moment, one of these guys could make a mistake and lose consciousness underwater. So every second counts. They have to learn how to keep calm, how to control their breath, and more importantly, how to break the window and escape. Luckily, this weatherman training has nothing
Normal
to do with
people are like-
or the weather. These exercises are full of intense and cutthroat drills intended to push recruits farther than ever before. And it'll get these guys to ask themselves whether or not they actually want to be there. It's full of relentless physical and mental drills like dragging a partner's body, bear crawling, rolling through the sand, and river crossing with a rope. All of this while being yelled at by their sergeant.
Smith, what are you doing just looking around?
And you better know the mission statement by heart, because they're going to ask you to say it out loud, word for word, while doing pull-ups.
To establish weather data networks while simultaneously
And if you mess it up, you and your entire team are going to be punished.
expertly employ.
Get on the pull-up bar and say the mission statement.
So yeah, it's pretty intense. But you know what's even more intense? Having to cross a frozen lake. And in Norway, the Royal Marines operate in that kind of environment.
In Norway.
taking the guys through their ice-breaking drill. It's an
Frozen
essential drill
lake.
they need to go through.
So if at any time someone falls through the ice, they need to know how to get themselves out. An exercise intended to expose the soldiers to the elements by forcing them to escape from frozen water unassisted. And these guys only have a matter of minutes to do so before hypothermia and frostbite run its course. So every second counts. But with the right amount of determination, each
I am
soldier
feeling
can
cold
succeed by
watching them.
pushing their gear up to the surface and pulling themselves free.
Is that to your satisfaction, Sergeant?
But they aren't the only ones under the surface.
He was asked to sing.
The Navy SEALs train their soldiers with extreme underwater training.
You need to be prepared to execute some of the world's most dangerous missions in unforgiving
Oh,
environments.
oh,
During
oh
their
my
first
god,
phase of
the
training, they
waves.
practice swimming, knot tying, and something called drown proofing, which is when
Drown
candidates have to
proofing.
perform various tasks in the water while their hands
They
and feet
just
are
tie
tied.
their
First we'll tie
hands
their
and leave
feet.
them there.
Then we tie their hands. Then we tie both
That
feet
was
and
stupid.
hands.
Then the next stage is this. The instructors literally swim down and attempt to disorient you by pushing you around, taking your mask off, or taking your air away. And it's your job to resolve all the issues before returning to the surface.
Wow.
order, well then you're out. You fail.
Okay, yeah, I've officially decided this is too much for me.
What are these special forces? And each country has made their own set of rules. Like Norway is very cold, so they have made sure that you have to pass the lake. Then China is also has a lot of cold climate things, so they are like you have to do that cold bath or the snow bath. That was crazy for me.
And specifically the Korean ones, what they were doing, that was extreme. Like they were like throwing the soap water on their faces while they were like dragging themselves on the rocks.
Yes, on
my God.
and then on you have to drag on yourself on the rocks, and then someone is throwing salt water. Everything was going crazy, and we thought only US forces were that good. So it just shows that every country's special forces is something very very crazy. But I think so still US one is like what they go through Hell Week and all of this. But I think so US one is more advertised also. But all the other ones don't advertise that much. But still they are also one of the best.
Also, so-called feminists say that we don't need man. Like, what's the work of man? Like, why we need man? And there was one of the famous celebrity. There was, and she said, someone asked, "Do you think really that men are necessary?" And she replied, "Like for what? Like seriously." Look at them, what they are doing. You know, to be honest, how we are designed as a women, how we are designed, we are not capable of doing such things. You know, women are there in Navy or in these things, but this is like special forces. This is I think it is impossible for us. Is there any woman, do you think,
What?
in this special forces?
I don't.
We haven't
It
seen
would be a
any.
rarity only. I think so,
Very
because
rarity.
these things are something very very intensive and I think so very few women would be able to go into this space.
We need man, and I'm really like appreciating these guys.
Yeah, actually. So, what do you guys think about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. So, do like, share, and
Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.